Hello everyone, welcome to episode 10, the last episode of the 2025 season. We haven't brought KoRail to the Tour de France this year, and I don't think it will happen in 2026, but at least our team will shape up then. Let's first finish off 2025 with a couple of bangers. We have 2 races left here in this year, starting off with the Tour of Serbia, a 3-stage tour here. 3 days where we will do our best to get a good general classification, starting off with a flat stage where our sprinters will do their jobs, hopefully, and 2 more hilly stages where if we can get to the end, I'm sure our sprinters will do well as well, but we'll have to protect them and make sure they get there first. So let's see how we'll do in that tour. In the second race of today, we'll be doing our first pro tour. So it is a very long one, an 8 stages tour, but it will be our first pro tour on this level. We'll be probably one of the worst teams in there. A lot of flat stages, 2 quite heavy mountain stages in there as well. So we'll have to try and prove ourselves. This will be our first measurement to see how do we do against some of the better teams here in the world. There will be some pro tour teams here as well, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, we'll just try to get some results here, and if we don't, that's okay. We'll just want to see how we'll do. Now let's quickly get into the first stage of the Tour of Serbia. A very flat stage today. We have Heyo with us and Kim Hyun-suk, so I'm betting on those 2 riders to do well here in this first stage. Let's see how we'll do.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. It's going to be a monotonous day when it comes to the terrain. But at least the teams with sprinters won't be complaining. And, of course, those opportunists with a bit of daring won't make their life easy.
Oh, you saw there the beautiful national jersey of Jon as well, with the KoRail logo on there, the KTX. I'm sending out Heyo first here in this stage to make sure that he can get some bonus seconds and bonus points. Any bonus seconds and bonus points that he can get will be beneficial for us on these next 2 stages that are coming up, because I don't know how he'll do on the hilly sector, but yeah, we'll just kind of have to do our best. Sadly, this rider here in this first in-between sprint stage makes sure that he surprises Heyo, or at least surprises me. I won't allow that to happen here in this second one. As you can see, I'm quite alert. Heyo very easily finishing here in the first place here in the second one. In the meantime, we'll make sure to keep Kim Hyun-suk protected in the peloton, same with Jon, of course, as they are the 2 sprinters in that peloton there. On towards the third in-between sprint point. We are still away somehow. It is surprising. It seems the other rider also wants to make sure that we take as large of a gap as possible. Heyo, the better sprinter of the 2, as long as he doesn't get surprised, he will win here in this head-to-head battle between these 2 riders. Now going towards this first little mountain area, we do manage to become one large peloton. I'm sending Hong forward. He is our best hill rider, I think, today in this group. So yeah, we'll just need to make sure that he is protected, or he is on the front. We can jump away with him right here, getting a 10-second lead quite easily, and getting those first mountain points. It's not a lot of mountain points, it's 2 mountain points, but that at least will secure the jersey for today. On to that final sprint. We are 8 kilometers off the front here. We are heading up with our sprint train right now. As we saw in the last episode, if you haven't watched it, go ahead. If you haven't, no worries either. Yo blocked our sprinters in half the stages. So I'm not going to put him up front again. He is our first lead-out man today, together with Hong. Lee making sure now that he is leading the way. 4 kilometers to go. We just need to make sure that our riders are positioned very nicely to the front. We still have Jon available, the #1 sprinter in Korea, apparently. It's the joke that I love to make now, seeing he has the national jersey, even though he's definitely not the best rider in this team. Doesn't matter. 1 kilometer left to go. I make sure to sprint with Heyo, and I tried to drop off Kim properly 600 meters before. Kim manages to squeeze between the 2 riders and get across the line here as first. Dorn does not make it past Kim, thankfully, and that ensures Kim's first place here in the Tour of Serbia. Heyo with a lovely 3rd place. Fantastic job here by Kim. showing his sprinting prowess. He is the oldest but most experienced rider on the team here today, and showing that he still has it in his legs, still be able to sprint towards that first place here in the Tour of Serbia. I'm curious where he'll stand in the next year, where he's also part of our team. Same with Heo. Heo first in the general classification. Those bonus seconds that he got earlier in the race make sure that he is now number 1 in the general classification, 2 seconds ahead of Kim Hyun-suk, 6 ahead of Vincent Dort. So yeah, just need to make sure that we maintain this for now. Hong also obviously the mountain jersey with that 2-point lead. Not a lot left for him to do other than that. Just, you know, he has the mountain jersey. That's about it. We'll try and see if we can keep that obtained in the next 2 stages. Those are considerably more hilly, so we'll see how Hong does there. And because of the points and the sprint here, the 3rd place that Heo got, he's also got the points classification jersey. Hyun-suk Kim 2nd, so I'm certain that Heo will ride in the yellow jersey tomorrow, and Kim Hyun-suk in the green jersey, Hong in the mountain jersey. And I'm not entirely sure who has the young riders classification. Also Heo, of course, because he is the youngest rider and he is number 1 in the, or he's one of the young riders and is part of the general classification in the first place. But I think the Austrian rider here will take it towards the next stage, at least for him. So congrats to him. 2nd for some reason in the team classification. Interesting. As you can see here, the results of today, 1st and 2nd currently in the general classification. Can we keep this up for the next 2 stages? It will be tricky with these hills coming up. As long as Heo and Kim survive the hills, I'm sure they'll do a good sprint towards the end to make sure that they get the best result possible. But, you know, we just kind of need to make sure that we obtain this lead and maintain this lead, I should say, instead. You see here, probably around 6-8 seconds lead that Heo got there, and that propulsed him, I don't know what the word is exactly, towards the front, and 2 seconds ahead of Kim Hyun-suk. Young riders, obviously Heo as well, and for some reason we are 2nd in the team classification, even though we are 2nd time. So surprising, but let's see how we'll do here in this 2nd stage. This 2nd stage, a lot hillier. You see there's a mountain here at the beginning, so I'll probably need to send Hong out to make sure that he gets those mountain points here at the start of this stage. And yeah, other than that, we just need to survive. It'll be a tricky one.
It's an undulating route, so it will be a tactical race.
A tactical race for sure, as it does involve some trickery. I'm sending out Hong as I said that I would. He needs to be up here on this mountain as first. Maybe I could have kind of just let him in the peloton, because there's not a lot of riders that actually feel obligated or interested in jumping away. There's a couple going ahead now because they see that the peloton isn't there. And yeah, in the end there's a group of 3 away with Hong obviously in the front. He will do his best here to secure these mountain points. 800 meters to go. I do a relatively early sprint with him, but he just seems to be slightly stronger than the other riders and makes it here in front. A close one, but he makes it nonetheless. Meanwhile, in the peloton, Heo and Kim Hyun-suk are safe and sound to make sure that they are protected as well. Their modifiers aren't great today. Kim Hyun-suk on -3, Heo on -2. So we'll need to see how they'll do towards this sprint that is coming up in the end. In the meantime, on to the 2nd mountain point area, where there is a group from behind now coming towards the front here with Hong. But Hong just needs to make sure that he is ahead of these other riders. You see me just pacing on his own, making sure that he rides on this mountain in his own tempo, the way that he wants to, without wasting too much energy, and getting across this line as first, so to extend his mountain point lead. And he does that quite easily. There's no other riders really challenging him. 5 additional points here for Hong. Currently an 8-point lead on to 2nd place. So good job here by Hong. Let's see if we can maintain that in this coming in between points. You see here now we are in a full peloton. I'm not entirely sure in my memory what happened there, but I'm sure that we fought for the in-between points and the mountain points there as well. Hong 30 seconds off the back. He is struggling. I'm sure that he'll get back into the group. In the meantime, we'll try and steal some points away here with our riders. You see, most of our riders are actually exhausted, so we don't actually manage there in the end. But more importantly, the sprint is coming up. With 6 kilometers to go, we need to form a sprint train, and only 3 of our riders are actually able to really put in any effort. It is Lee, Heo, and Kim Yoon-suk, and we know that Heo and Kim are exhausted at the moment, or well, at least they have their negative modifiers, so it will be a challenge to actually actually do something here. I tried to do an attack here with Lee in the down, or in the descent, to try and get away here from this peloton. Doesn't really work out. 2 kilometers to go. It is a bit of a tricky descent here. 1 kilometer left. I sprint with everyone. Heo managed to get in a good position. Gets here across the line as second? First! A first place for Heo. Wow, that is very unexpected. He actually shot between a bunch of the riders. Definitely didn't look as if he was going to cross the line here as first, but manages to beat the other riders to the line just barely. A stage win here for Heo, previous one by Kim, first one for Heo in this tour. Somehow managed to survive the mountains properly, somehow managed to stay in a good position there in this tricky descent, and make sure that he gets across the line here as first. Kim Hyun-suk getting a 10th place here as well, so 2 top 10 places here for us. That means that Heo is still the leader in the general classification. 3rd place now for Kim, same time as Dorn, or Vincent Dorn here. So, hoping here that we can do better with Kim, even getting maybe that 2nd place, stealing it away from Vincent. And Heo obviously needs to keep the general classification 1st place here, as that is our goal. Hong currently 8 points in the lead in this mountain jersey. We have 1 more stage to go, which is also quite hilly, so we'll probably send Hong out here in the beginning to conquer that mountain jersey and make sure that no one steals it from him. Heo currently with 48 points, the leader in the point classification. That is probably still up for grabs tomorrow, as long as Vincent finishes in 1st and Hong maybe not even in the points. He should be able to take it from Heo, so we'll just try to position Heo properly there and see if we can maintain it. Heo still 1st as well in the young riders classification. Erik Vetter, the Hungarian rider, 16 seconds off of Heo, so we need to maintain that general classification lead, and with the general classification lead we'll also maintain the young riders classification. Erik can ride in the young riders classification tomorrow. Meanwhile, we apparently fell out of the top 10 of the team classification. I'm sure we all have the same time, but I guess Arbo is better classified. I have no idea how that works. No idea. On to the classifications here that we have. Our general classification, we are now 1st with Heo, maintaining our lead, 19 seconds off the 2nd place, so we'll just need to make sure that to maintain that. You see Yo and Hong dropping all the places. Yon sadly as well. They did a lot of effort to make sure that our riders, our sprinters, get across these hills and these mountains quite easily to get into the position that they are. And we're currently in 11th place with the same time in this team classification. Not too big of a deal for us. We have literally every other jersey. So we just need to make sure to maintain that towards this 3rd, or actually in this 3rd stage that is coming up. Heo currently in a great position. Kim also in a great position. Let's see what we can do here in this 3rd stage. Another hilly one, but after we basically reach that list peak, it's just a downhill from there.
The route is fairly hilly, so there should be plenty of action. The race will take place under a bright sun.
Fairly hilly indeed. Hong is here up front with his mountain jersey. I'll try and send him away. There you see he goes. Kim, sadly, no jersey for him anymore, as he lost he is 3rd in the points classification, or somewhere in the points classification, and 3rd in the general classification as well. Meanwhile, Hong jumping away here very nicely, getting away, so making sure that he at least will be in the group, or in the breakaway group, which is great for us. Kim Hyun-suk still with a -3 today, so that's not great. Going to position him up front, making sure that he's protected in the peloton. Heo also with a -2, same as yesterday, so not two of the best days for Heo and Kim Hyun-suk. Doesn't really matter as long as we protect our lead here. In this in-between sprint point, I get surprised here by the other two riders. For us, it doesn't really matter what happens here. We get an additional second here for Hong, but you know, it's not really important for him. The seconds don't really matter. What matters here are these mountain points that are coming up 1 kilometer to go. The other riders are exhausted from their sprint, so I do a little attack here with Hong to make sure that we get first across the line here, and we easily get that done for us. An additional 5 kilometers left for this second one, so I'm not going to bore you and skip immediately to the kilometer before. I get caught off guard once again by these other two riders, but at this point it doesn't really matter. Our lead is too big, 9 points off the number 2, making sure that that mountain jersey is secured, and now I can just relax and fall back towards the main peloton. Try to be like a little bit of a back wheel here for these riders. I don't want to get them, I don't want to let them go too much, but I want to be that annoying disruptance here. We somehow make it towards this last sprint point, this time with 1.5 minute lead on the peloton. I don't get surprised. I use the other rider to sprint away, and with Hong basically doing nothing for these other riders, gets across the line here first, getting an additional 3 seconds, basically screwing the other two riders out of any points and any seconds that they wanted. But yeah, that's what you get for, you know, surprising me on these mountain climbs. And Hong just doesn't really want to work anymore. He just wants to relax, wants to go back to the peloton. And 10 kilometers before, you see we are one large group. Hong here leading out our riders here in the beginning, doing the first push. He did his job today. He can relax. He claimed the mountain jersey. There's nothing much left for him to do. So a fantastic job here by him. The rest of our team, we are very much up front. We are riding very, very well here in this descent toward the finish line. We just need to make sure that we stay up front here. Yeon, our Korean national champion, which I'm still so proud of. Well done, Yeon. Does a fantastic push here, 4 kilometers to go. Time for Yo to basically lead out the rest of the group. We just need to make it towards that 2 kilometer mark where Lee can take it over. There is a rider attacking for some reason. They are sprinting actually relatively early. So let's go and sprint as well. 2 kilometers to go. Lee takes over from the other riders. We lose a couple of positions. 1 kilometer to go. I sprint with Heo. Kim sprints from 800 meters to go. Kim somehow manages to weave himself through the other riders and gets across the line here first. Wow. That is a surprising finish by Kim. He did that excellently. I did not expect him to weave through those riders that well and just get across the line here as first. Incredible job here by Kim. Heo this time with a 10th place. The roles are reversed as in the previous stage where Heo got first place and Kim got a 10th place. This time it is the other way around. Fantastic job here by Hyun-suk Kim. I have no idea what this does for the general classification. There we go. Heo's still in the lead, 2 seconds in front of Kim. Kim almost overtaking Heo there. If he had any of the sprint seconds basically earlier, if he did 2 seconds earlier, he would have gotten it today. But a 2-second difference between Heo and Kim. He does at least finish in front of Vincent, so getting that second place there is fantastic. Also for the points and the money that we get, fantastic. Hong obviously securing his mountain jersey. Great job here today by him. Really, really well done. Making sure that we get that jersey as well. Basically making sure that we get the bonus and the monies for that too. Which is important if we want to invest more into our team and make sure we get better equipment and other things for our team in the end, and especially towards next season. Heo obviously gets the sprint jersey as well. Kim comes in second with his victory of today. So fantastic job here by our 2 sprinters. Even though this was quite the hilly stage here in stage 2 and 3, we do manage to do a fantastic sprint here. Prove that we are incredible sprinters here towards the end. Even with a -3 and -2 modifier, we won basically we won all 3 of the stages. So fantastic job here by our sprinters. Fantastic job here by Heo. Fantastic job here by Kim. In the end, we ended 10th also in the team classification, which I feel like we should be first, but yeah, that is what it is. On to the results. As you can see here, Kim Hyun-suk in first for this stage, moving him up 1 spot here, past Vincent Dorn. Yeah, making sure that he has a 2-second gap to Heyo. Liu Min also moving up. Our riders did fantastically. I think most of basically all our riders except for Yon moved up today. Doesn't really matter. In the end, we get 2 of our riders in the top 3 in a first and second place, and I don't think that is a result that you can do any better than that. Maybe if we got the top 4 or 5 like we did in national championships, which was absolutely insane. This time we got a 1 and 2 again. Fantastic job here by our team. Great start of the episode as well. Great results here. And now let's move on to our second race of the episode, a 2-point pro race, our first 2-point pro race, as I said also in the intro. We're starting this race off with a flat stage, a sprint stage. We do have Heyo and Kim Yeon-sok with us today, so I'm hoping that they can perform well in this tour, although this tour has a lot of very strong competitors. But let's see how we do in this first stage.
Hello to one and all. It's going to be a monotonous day when it comes to the terrain, but at least the teams with sprinters won't be complaining, and of course, those opportunists with a bit of daring won't make their life easy.
Exactly, and those opportunists are us, I hope. What we'll do today, Kim Yeon-sok sadly with a -2. We'll try to protect him as well as possible here in the peloton. In the meantime, let's try and sprint away with Heyo. There's a couple of in-between sprint points slash mountain points as well. So maybe we can do something here with Heyo. The other teams are quite reluctant on letting him go, but don't worry, in the end I do manage to finally get away with him. As you can see here, we have a small group of 2 here. It is me and Park, the 2 Korean riders that did manage to make it to the breakaway, and out of the 2, Heyo is the better sprinter. So getting across the line here as first, already gaining 3 additional bonus seconds and bonus points as well for the points classification here. Good start of our race. Let's see if we can continue this. Just before the mountain points, we are basically caught up again with 1 large peloton. As you can see, we also have you, our number 1 mountain rider in our team. So I'm going to send him forward to at least capture the mountain jersey for a couple of days. I don't know if there's any bonus money involved with having it, but hey, with 2 bonus points or with 2 mountain points, we are the best climber here in this stage, and we're just, kind of hoping to keep that up. Just before, or just after this, I should say, there is another sprint point for us to challenge in, so 2 kilometers off the sprint point here. I'm going to send you up front to keep pushing our people, or keep pushing the peloton towards this point. He was already quite exhausted, as you can see. And there are a weird amount of corners. There is already the sprint line. Heyo is too far back in this group. There's too many other riders up front here, so his positioning was just not good enough for it. And he doesn't make it across the line here, so no additional sprint points and sprint seconds here for us. On towards the last 7 kilometers, 6 kilometers of this race here. We have our sprint train going. We are in full swing, trying to get a result here in this first stage, trying to promote ourselves as the number 1 Korean team that we are in this tour, this 2-point pro tour. I'm just excited to be here, to be honest. You up front now are Mountain Magic Man, and with 2 kilometers to go, I am quite in the back of the peloton. I tried to sprint with everyone. There's a lot of riders weaving through each other. It's very difficult to get through. In the end, Hong's positioning, thanks to his early sprint, was just better because of it. And Hong gets across the line here as 13th. Heyo getting across the line here as 15th. So 2 top 20s at least in this first stage for us. Not really the result that we wanted or hoped for in this first stage. But it is what it is. Heyo moving up a couple of places as well. Thanks to his bonus seconds, he is now in 6th position. So overall, pretty good result for our team. Not exactly what we were hoping for, but still, it was pretty decent. 2 top 20 positions, a top 10 at least in the general classification for now. You with the mountain jersey, we're going to keep that mountain jersey for a couple of stages, I hope at least. Especially in this one, which is the second one, which is another flat stage. And you have a short overview here of the teams already. It is Tudor, it is Education First, it is Equipo Pharma. A lot of the top teams are here in this tour, and that's difficult to battle against. So let's see what we can do here in the second.
The profile of this race is quite flat. Expect a fast pace from the peloton.
a promised quick stage, I think, here today. It is 160 kilometers for us, a flat stage where we will try to do well with Heyo and Kim Yeon-sok. Heyo with a -3 today, absolutely terrible for him. He will have a very poor stamina, so I want to send him away. Maybe I should have protected him here instead, but I want to send him away to get some bonus seconds and bonus points. Even if he doesn't get a top 10 towards the end, at least the bonus seconds and bonus points will help him get a good position. That's kind of what I'm betting on. Heyo, in the end, does get away here with this little group of riders, 4 riders, 2 from Korea, 1 from Thailand and 1 from Australia. So we are representing the Southeast Asian islands and the Oceania region quite well here today. Heyo in the sprint gets beaten by Shin here, the other Korean rider, sadly beating him out towards this sprint stage. Heyo at least getting 2 additional bonus seconds, so still pretty decent. We just need to make it towards the next one. We do have a 5.5 minute lead on the peloton, so quite secure that we will make it here towards the other sprint points. 1 kilometer towards the second sprint point. You see me surprising the other riders here. Heyo doing a fantastic job, proving himself as a worthy sprinter, jumping out of the wheel of the others. The others cannot catch up, and he gets across the line here as first, making sure that he at least gets a first, or gets the 3 bonus seconds and bonus points. Meanwhile, the peloton is chasing behind, 4.5 minutes left on the peloton, and by the time we reach the third sprint point, we only have around 30 seconds left. So another sprint here by Heyo. It is just in front of a corner where positioning matters the most. He cannot accelerate enough, and that means he gets third in behind these other 2 riders, getting an additional bonus second and bonus point. But again, not really what we were hoping for or wanted. On to the last 10 kilometers of this race. Our sprint train is fully set up now. We are going towards the end, hoping to put down a good result here, and try to, keep our good results flowing. Heyo, sadly, is absolutely exhausted. That -3 is really killing him after today's effort. Same for Shin and Yu. They are trying their best, but their stamina is just so affected in this race that has been going quite a while, and it's just very fast paced. That means that at 6 kilometers, our energy is just kind of gone. That means Hong and Kim Yeon-sok are the only 2 riders that really have anything left with 5 kilometers to go, and even Hong is affected, as you can see here. So Hong just needs to make sure that in these last 3 kilometers that we are at now, that he'll take Kim Yeon-sok all the way towards the finish. 2.5 to go. I need to make Hong go faster and make sure that he gets into a better position. He uses up all of his energy to drop off Kim at about 900 meters left to the finish. He does do an excellent sprint here. He passes multiple people, a lot of people waving through each other, and in the end ends up at a 7th position here. 7th position here for Yeon-sok Kim. Fantastic race here by him. Good finish here by him. Another top 10 here for our team. Something that we can definitely be very happy with in this point pro race that we were having here. And yeah, it's basically our team. Kim Yeon-sok and Hong obviously moving up a lot. It's basically our team against a lot of these pro teams, or at least like world tour teams as well. So it's kind of difficult to fight against Euskaltel and Tudor and Education First and Team Pulte, Visit Malta, Flanders Baloise, Equipo Pharma. There's so many great teams in this race today. It shows how much we need to improve as well. And where it shows probably the most is this third stage that we have coming up. It is quite the mountainous stage that is here right now. So that means that, especially this last climb, you see a very hefty, long climb here towards the end. It dips down a little bit afterwards, and then another large climb. So it will be quite difficult for our team.
In the mountains, where the team leaders and the climbers should show what they're made of. For the others, it's going to be a day of hard labor in order to reach the finishing line.
A day of hard labor it will be for sure. At least we have Yu with us. He has a +1, but he's more of a hill climber than anything. At least you can see that his hill stats is a 65 today. It isn't great. It isn't even in the 70s, especially if you look at some of the riders that these other teams have with them today. It will just be an incredibly difficult race for us to do anything. I'm going to position our riders decently in the peloton to make sure that they are protected. I want to try and sneak away with Heyo or do anything with him, because, you know, again, any additional points or bonus seconds that we can get in this race is just a victory for us. There's a lot of people trying to sprint away, but in the end, it doesn't really make much of a difference. The most important part is that we are here in these mountains, and you see our entire team is suffering. It shows that we are not a mountain team. The team that we have is 6, 7, sometimes you see Jung even 10 minutes behind the main peloton. Yu is suffering as well. He does end up losing the wheel of the peloton. We were so close to getting over this mountain, but sadly enough, we don't even get close enough, and we finish this race far, far, far behind them. So yeah, a very difficult race for us here today. Looking at the general classification, you see us dropping down here. Yu is now our best classified rider, as he didn't lose 10 minutes on the peloton, as did the other riders. And that means that our other riders sadly all dropped out of any top 30, top 40 places. Very expected for our team in these difficult circumstances. Let's try to move up in these next 4 stages that we have. Especially this 4th stage, which is a more of a hilly stage. Big mountain here at the beginning. As long as Heyo and Kim Hyun-suk can get across these mountains quite well, I'm hoping that they'll do a fantastic sprint towards the end. They've proven that they can do this before, so let's see what they'll do this time.
Hello and welcome. The profile of the route is a fairly mixed bag, so everybody should find a section to their pleasing. To top it all, the weather conditions are atrocious.
The weather conditions are indeed atrocious, and that will probably affect our riders. Difficult race here for us. I'm doubting between sending you out here. Do we want to get this mountain jersey back or not? I am unsure. Kim Hyun-suk and Heyo, we will try and protect here in this stage. Try to not send them out too far. Try to make sure that they are safe and see what we can do. I do feel like we should be doing anything in this race, so I sent out Shin earlier. He does join a group of 6 people. We have a 6-minute lead on the peloton, which is actually quite good. And what matters now is that we get as many bonus seconds as we can. The bigger time gap that we have on the peloton, the better. If we finish with 6 minutes to spare here with this breakaway, there's not a lot of riders here that really form a threat on the peloton. But the more riders that we can break away with here, or the more riders that we can finish with towards the end, with the larger time gap, the better. And the more bonus seconds that I can get in these in-between sprints, the better for Shin as well. So you're seeing we have a 2nd place here. Again, 2 more bonus seconds here for Shin. Fantastic result there for him. 3rd one, we sprint again, but Shin is slightly better in the mountains than he is in the sprinting. Getting a 3rd place here, an additional bonus second. And now it is 30 kilometers to go, 5-minute gap towards the peloton, which means that we do make it here towards the end of the stage with the breakaway. There's still around a 4-minute gap, and you see the riders here trying to jump away. That means that Shin will not get a top 3 result here for our team. The other riders are just slightly stronger than us, and we need to start focusing on our sprint train to try and position our sprinters as well. We don't get a good result here with Kim or Heyo. There's no top 5 here in our future for us today, but we can try and get a good top 10 position here with the remainder of our riders. Shin up front is just pushing as far as he can. There's 500 meters to go for him, and maybe I should have focused a bit more on him. He does manage to end up in a group here with Morvat, trying to even get towards the other riders with a little bit of a sprint, but he doesn't manage in the end, getting a 7th place. At least we get a top 10 with Shin, and let's see what we can do here now with Kim and Heyo. 1 kilometer left to go. I do sprint with them. They do their best, but Heyo is just, you know, -1 modifier here. He races towards the end. He does his best, but just slightly ends up out of the top 10. An 11th place for Heyo, a 13th place for Kim Hyun-suk. Still a good end sprint here by us, but what matters for us is Shin, who ends up 7th here in this stage, gaining around 3 minutes actually on the main group. It doesn't matter too much, I think, for us in the end. Let's quickly visit the timesheet to see where he is now in the general classification. You are actually moving up 4 places, moving up to around the 30th place, so not terrible. Shin moving up only 9 places. So instead of having a 13-minute time gap between the other riders or to the first rider, he now only has a 10-minute gap towards the number 1 in this classification. Yeah, not even with a massive gap like that. Apparently, not making too many changes here. 10, almost 11 minutes off the number 1 here, even though he did come across the line here as 7th and did have a 3-minute gap here towards the peloton. He only moves up 9 places, so not great. Meanwhile, Yusarang 34th, so let's see what we can do here with the remainder of our riders. Again, I don't expect to get a top 20 here. We just want to show some good results with our sprinters and with the rest of our team to show that we are on the map. And I'm hoping to do so here in this 5th stage, another flat stage here for us. I don't think the breakaway will make it today as it is a bit hilly. And after that, just more flatness coming up here in this stage. So for sure, the group will be together at that point. We just need to sprint properly.
Today's terrain is fairly level, so it's ideal ground for those who are good on the flat.
Ideal ground for us, that means, so because we are good on the flat, or well, we should be good on the flat, but Kim Yeon-suk starting today off with a -3. You see Jung exhausted by this high tempo race that we have. I want to send at least a rider away to try and achieve something. My preference would be you, but he is just so stuck within this peloton that it becomes very, very difficult. And there is already a breakaway away with around 1 minute of a gap. So getting away here will be very difficult for us. That means that we'll just have to make sure that we protect our riders. We'll need to protect Kim Hyun-suk and Heo and make sure that they don't suffer too much here in this stage. In the meantime, I'll try and bring back the breakaway with Jung. Again, he is sick today, so he will have a very difficult time. But, you know, we will just need to survive towards the end. Talking about towards the end, 9 kilometers left to go. Jung still sick, suffering. Shin at some point probably did a massive pull and is now 4 minutes behind the peloton, absolutely exhausted by today's effort. That means that Yusarang is the only one that's left with a little bit of a mountain prowess. Hong, I guess, could have pulled there as well very nicely. Heo exhausted as well by this very quick stage that we had today. So yeah, we just need to make sure that we end up properly here. 5 kilometers to go towards the finish line. It is difficult for our riders to do well here. It is a bit of a downhill sprint as well, which could form tricky if we're not positioned properly. Hong taking over here from the riders. Heo sadly losing his wheel a little bit. It does take a bit of effort for him to gain back into that wheel. 2 kilometers left to go. Let's see what we can do here. A big sprint by Heo. Kim gets blocked by other riders. No! He was in such a good condition, or in such a good position, I should say. His condition today, absolutely terrible. But he was such a good position behind Heo's wheel. If only he could follow. But he sadly got blocked, and Kim Yeon-suk gets across the line as I drop my stuff. And 12th position. Heo getting a 9th place here. Hong 11th. We end up with a pretty decent result, honestly, in this pro stages. Just not something that we can write home about, not something that will deliver us a lot of points. But it does move us up, I guess, in the general classification, which is good. I just would love to show our team's colors a bit better. Get those top 5 results at least, or even get a podium. That would be the goal here. As you know, points-wise and sprint-wise and mountain-wise, we are a bit behind. Heo getting some in-between sprint points here today, so that moves him up a couple of places, but we are just so far off from getting those top results here today. Heo even at a 90th place currently, so not great. Stage 6, another flat stage, which means more chances for our sprinters today. Let's hope Heo and Kim Hyun-suk are in a good condition. Again, if Kim Hyun-suk has another -3, it will be difficult, but we'll have to see.
Today's terrain is fairly level, so it's ideal ground for those who are good on the flat.
Normally we would be good on the flat, and today, I guess we are. Kim Hyun-suk with a +2 modifier. That should make it easier for him as well. I want to send him away early. Any bonus points or bonus seconds that he can get would be great here in this race. Maybe moving him up a slight bit with the modifier. I hope it won't affect his stamina too much, and he can also do a good sprint towards the end. In the meantime, we'll protect Heo here in this peloton, and we'll try to achieve something here with Kim Hyun-suk. Or we want to try something with Kim Hyun-suk, but these teams are chasing us down. Look at that. They are afraid of Kim Hyun-suk. In the moment he drops back, the moment he relaxes, the peloton also relaxes. Let's see if we can do something here with Heo if we jump away. Heo, let's, fly away. He is worsely positioned than Kim Hyun-suk. We do get Park with us again, the other Korean rider. And yeah, I guess with Heo we do manage to get into the breakaway. So our goal was to do something with Kim Hyun-suk. He wasn't allowed to get away today, so we'll relax with Kim Hyun-suk in the peloton, and Heo will try to prove himself today in these in-between sprints. Nothing too exciting happens with us, to be honest, so that's why I cut towards the end. Which means that we now have our sprint train going again. Jung doing his push, still not feeling well today, still not in the best condition, which means that our remaining riders will have to do the remaining efforts as well. We still have a lot of energy left. Even Heo, who was in the breakaway for a little bit, just trying his best. You see Shin is exhausted, but that is due to the effort that he just generally has to do in life. And I would feel the exact same if I was him. So, yeah, no surprise there. 4 kilometers to go. Sorry, 4 kilometers left to go. Shin gets on the lead here of our sprint train. We are going quite fast. And even with Shin sprinting and doing his best, we keep losing positions here in the peloton. Heo now with a massive sprint, dropping Kim off at 1 kilometer to go. Kim sprinting, doing his best, but the other riders are just better than him, as you can see here. Tudor, Euskatel, Education First, they all beat our little continental rider team here. They all beat Kim Hyun-suk, sadly. He still gets across the line as 7th, but again, the top 5 is barely out of our reach. So close to getting that top 5, but just not close enough. Do we move up in the general classification? We do slightly with our riders. Yu Sarong still the same, however, at that 34th position. The rest of our riders moving up a couple of places. Nothing too large for us, or nothing too major. We won't get anywhere close near a top 20 or a top 10 here in this tour. But, a couple more sprint stages to go for us. I really want to get the top 5. I really want to get a podium. I really want to show the world what we can do here with KoRail in this tour towards the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. It's going to be a monotonous day when it comes to the terrain, but at least the teams with sprinters won't be complaining. And, of course, those opportunists with a bit of daring won't make their life easy.
Exactly, we'll need opportunists with a bit of daring, and that today for us is Heo once again. Heo wants to sprint away and gets additional bonus points and additional bonus seconds. He's currently 10th in the sprinters classification with 18 points, so doing pretty okay. Is it 18 points or is that the climbers classification? I can't really tell. I think that's the... I'm honestly not sure which jersey is what here in this stage, to be honest. Anyway, on to the first in-between sprint point. Heo still up front, -1 modifier today, but it barely affects him. Thankfully, his sprint is actually +1 today, so that's very nice. And that shows off here in this first in-between sprint point. We do have a 6-minute lead on the peloton, which maybe we'll actually get towards the end. 6 minutes on the peloton is quite a gap. And getting these in-between seconds will then be even more important, because the more seconds we get, the better for our riders. On to this second in-between sprint point. I again surprise my fellow breakaway riders and get to the front here very easily, actually, getting those bonus seconds. The gap in the meantime lowered quite a bit, and I'm wondering, how is our teamwork? Because I don't think it is very good. We do have a group of 3 remaining. But yeah, in the end, our teamwork apparently has failed. The peloton caught up with us. It was quite a bit to go. You see, we tried to stay away for as long as possible because Heo is absolutely exhausted here towards the end. We tried to stay away for as long as we could. which means that now Kim Yeon-suk, who has a +1 modifier, has to sprint for that top 10 position today, preferably top 5. Again, we really want to get a top 5 position. That is what we really need in this tour, to really put our team on the in the spotlight and on the podium. That would be fantastic. 4 kilometers, a little bit for less than 4 kilometers to go. Yu is now basically leading out Hong and Kim Yeon-suk, and a little bit past 2 kilometers, I want to launch Hong to try and get more towards the front. We are so far behind. Thankfully, Hong does an incredible push here, to be honest, and he drops off Kim Yeon-suk properly. Very nice. Kim Yeon-suk actually moves upwards. Oh my god, Kim Yeon-suk gets across the line here a second. Wow! The other riders ran out of energy just before the finish, which means that Kim Yeon-suk actually managed to pass a lot of them. Incredible job here by Kim Yeon-suk. A second place here by our team. Kim Yeon-suk getting a second place in a 2-point pro tour. Incredible. Getting additional bonus seconds as well, but it doesn't move him up for some reason. That's how far behind he is. Poor Kim Yeon-suk. It does move him up at least in the points classification. And again, it puts our team on the podium, our team on the global spotlight, our first podium in a 2-point pro race. Fantastic result here by Kim Yeon-suk, one of our top sprinters together with Heo. Amazing. On to the last stage here in this 8-day tour that we are doing in this Point Pro Tour with our first victory. Let's repeat that in this one.
The profile of this race is quite flat. Expect a fast pace from the peloton.
A fast pace from the peloton, most likely indeed. It is 150 kilometers today in this flat stage. I'm sending out you to try and do something crazy, because we had a couple of stages now where the breakaway, if they had plenty of a gap, makes it towards the end with, let's say, 5 minutes to spare or something absolutely insane. We saw it a bit earlier in this tour with Shin making it across the line with 3 minutes to spare, and if we can get that with you, that would make him at least move up into a top 10 position. He is 33rd with 2 minutes to go. The peloton sees that, apparently sees that as a very scary thing for you, and decides to chase us down. Which means that we don't really get anywhere with the breakaway. On to a little bit before these in-between sprint stages, Kim Yeon-suk, who did incredible in the past couple stages, a -2 today, so not his stage. But that doesn't mean that I want to just let this go. It means that I want to keep going here and try to get as many points and bonus seconds as possible. You here getting across the line here a second, even getting 2 more bonus seconds. It's not very huge for him, but hey, any places that we can move up, the better, right? That's the goal here. 8 kilometers left to go. We have our sprint train going. Hong and Jung are absolutely exhausted. Sending out now Shin to just basically move us forward and try to position us properly here towards the front. Kim Yeon-suk, today's lead out for Heo. Normally it would be the other way around, because Kim Yeon-suk had better statistics in this tour, had better fitness in this tour as well. So let's see what we can do. You normally are mountain experts, leading out Kim Yeon-suk and Heo, which isn't ideal for us. 3 kilometers left to go. Do I sprint here with Kim Yeon-suk? Yes, I do. 2 kilometers, I get that sprint mark. You blocks Kim Yeon-suk slight bit. We are well positioned here in this corner. 1 kilometer left. Heo does a sprint here. Can Heo repeat Kim Yeon-suk's second place here, or a podium place? No, we cannot. The other riders just slightly faster than Heo, just outside of the top 5. A 6th place here for Heo. Kim Yeon-suk finishing 13th with a mighty sprint as well. Heo just barely out of that top 5. If only he was just slightly more in the sprint set, he had slightly more sprint stats, or he had a slightly higher fitness, we would have gotten that top 5. So close for our team. At least we have 1 podium in this tour. That is something I am very, very satisfied with. And Heo, in the end, 7th also in the points classification. Not terrible. let's look at the general classification. You moving up 1 spot thanks to those bonus seconds, I am assuming. Moving up to 32nd place now. Heyo moving up a couple spots as well, same for Shin. So overall, our riders moved up a couple of places, but that mountain stage that we had earlier really killed us. On to the points! This is the final episode, so these are also the final points that we have received here in this tour. That means that Yusarang somehow got 3 points in the last tour. I have no idea where, but good job you. I don't think he got like a top 5 at any point. Kim Hyun-sok, 15 points here with his 2nd place. Maybe, I have no idea where you got the points. But, you know, still congratulations to you getting an additional 3 points. Kim Hyun-sok gaining 15 points, gaining 44 points for his 2nd place in the Tour of Serbia, and Heyo getting 50 points for his 1st place and 2 victories in the Tour of Serbia as well. So 2 great results here by Heyo and Kim Hyun-sok in today's episode. And again, the end of the 2025 season, ending it with our first 2-point pro race. We're hoping to do many more of those in the next season. We're hoping to prove our team, our improved team, as I should say, I guess, in the next season as well. Hoping that our Korean riders will keep providing and will keep showing what they've gotten. This is our 2026 squad. I'll introduce them more in depth later in a different episode. I'll do a in-between episode where I'll introduce them and show the results also in real life and what they've achieved so far in their careers. So that'll be interesting as well. We have expanded our team considerably. We have a lot more riders, which means that we can do more tours and more exciting stages as well. So next season, more tours on the list. We have some couple of new Korean riders. We have a very international roster, as you can see, but mostly still Korean. So we'll keep going with our Korean sponsor in our Korean team. We just have expanded it with a couple more international riders as well, hoping to do well there with our team. If you enjoyed this season, if you enjoyed these videos, please remember to give a like, subscribe, or leave a comment, whatever you feel like and whatever speaks to you the most. I hope you look forward to next season as well, where we'll be doing hopefully more difficult races and get some additional results. I have high hopes for this team. So yeah, hope to see you in the next season as well. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!